HITC. Oh, wait. No. Let's do that again. Hello, I am the Irish guy, and finally, this is the beginning of a new era. I mean, for all of you who have somehow managed to find this channel, congratulations to you. I wasn't allowed to advertise this on the other channel, but I just counted on you. All of you not having the brains of a mashed potato. I mean, has anybody ever seen the film A Series of Unfortunate Events? Well, remember when that weird old granny? She was leaving clues for where her grandkids could find her. That was me on the other channel. I mean, honestly, I feel bad for some of the souls still at the previous channel, just thinking that I've quit YouTube forever. I'm sorry, what? No? Do they honestly think I just disappeared forever? No. This is like watching Pirates of the Caribbean 3, and then once you leave the cinema, you decide you want to go and find the graveyard of Johnny Depp. I don't think you've really understood what you just watched. But listen, lads, yes, this is the beginning. And for those of you who have already smashed that big fat red button, you've chosen wisely, because I am going to blow the roof off football YouTube. Now that I'm doing this on my own and we can start planning big football projects. This is going to be great. So if you're new to this is the place, okay? And please, someone just go tell the others that it's okay. You can stop laying flowers outside my mother's door. No, I wasn't lost at sea. I'm still alive and kicking. Well, as alive as you can be when you live on nothing but stale muesli and sharpened pencils. But anyway, right, let's get on with it then. Let's take a look at every Premier League match from the weekend, right? Let's go. Man United 3, Tottenham 2. Right, so hands up. Who out there thought that Cristiano Ronaldo was finished? I think I did a video on that, right? Yeah, I'm now once again being made to look like someone who grew up being breastfed from a farmyard pig. I know, he's made me and thousands of others look like he got the brain cells of Sugar Puffs. That was his 59th career hat-trick. And weirdly, just his second for Manchester United. I mean, it's weird. In a Manchester United shirt, only one person on planet Earth knew what it was like to see Ronaldo stick 3 past him in nets. And that was poor old Shay Given. Back in January 2008, when he was being coached by Nigel Pearson for a day. I mean, that's so long ago, Nicky Butt was on the pitch. Danny Simpson was in a Manchester United shirt. Britney Spears was number 3 in the charts. How did Ronaldo only learn how to regularly score trebles once he moved to Spain? I mean, he was still a goal-scoring monster in his first spell at Man United. But again, ask that Ballon d'Or winner to score 3 goals in one match, and he would have reacted to that the same way as if you'd ask him to piggyback Susan Boyle up a hill. Actually, that was back before she was famous. Maybe, I don't know, who was heavy in 2008? Kirsten Dunst? I might not actually know who that is. But anyway, here, Ronaldo at the age of 37. He's firing a hat-trick past the World Cup winning goalkeeper. I mean, I think we have to realise what he's doing is almost sickening. Christ, well, we are so used to fawning over aging footballers when they do something simple. I mean, Christ, well, Teddy Sheringham was held up as an icon for the elderly when he scored, what, 3 penalties in a season for Portsmouth? I mean, when Kevin Phillips was Ronaldo's age, he was held up as an example of an evergreen, thriving pensioner. He was 37 and scored 1 Premier League goal in an entire season for Birmingham. That was it. When a footballer goes past the age of 35, our expectations and standards are so low. I mean, a bit like when you go down to the local nursing home. If someone only manages to poo themselves twice before lunch, then they're getting a gold star and a pat on the back. If they manage to eat their entire bowl of cornflakes before falling asleep, again, I guess that makes them pensioner of the week. But lads, Ronaldo has scored more goals than James Milner has played football matches. And he's been playing week in, week out since 2002. What is this? When Ronaldo was a teenager, he had the end product of a sneezing panda. What he's turned into, this monstrously, beastly, greatest goal scorer of all time. I'm sorry, tell someone that back in 2005, when he was a dancing pony with a fetish for stepovers. And they would look at you as if you had an ear growing out of your tongue. I mean, back then, Ruud van Nistelrooy was the Manchester United goal machine, who used to look at Ronaldo failing to cross the ball, and honestly, must have been this close to going into the changing room and shoving hot lasagna up his nose. Well, Ruud, that frustrating show pony has more than double your entire goals tally for your career. That skinny, goofy looking boy band reject is going to end his career, scored more than 500 goals more than you. That does doesn't even compute. Don't underestimate how mental that is. I mean, it's like trying to tell Erling Haaland that he'll wind up scoring less goals than Dwight McNeil. It's like telling Jadon Sancho he will score twice as many goals as Harry Kane. It just doesn't make any sense. But anyway, great win for Man United. Bit weird though, because this is a match where Fred looked good. You know, that £50 million footballer who so far has mostly looked about as imposing as Kermit the Frog, although Tottenham will feel like punching themselves in the teeth. There was a result in this match for them. Christ above, with 20 minutes to go, Harry Maguire slices into his own net for 2-2 before Christian Romero then yells in his face, releasing his inner Martin Keown. I mean, a bit uncalled for this. I mean, laughing at a Harry Maguire own goal. It's a bit like laughing in the face of an old lady when she wets herself on the bus. I mean, fair enough. If this was a world star like Virgil van Dijk making a rare error, then I get it. That's something to celebrate. But Maguire is a walking chunk of snot. You expect things like mistakes and accidents. Christ above, he's riskier than a condom made of cheese. Chelsea 1, Newcastle 0. Stitch up. I'm sorry, but what did I just watch? Chelsea versus Newcastle. This match was so feisty, you'd swear it's the courtroom for Ashley Cole's divorce. Get it? Chelsea versus Newcastle. Forget it. Go back to before Christmas and tell someone that this Newcastle squad, a sack of unmotivated potatoes who understate Bruce, clearly all at the individual fitness of Snorlax, tell them then that they would this season travel to the home of the European champions and nearly win? I mean, don't underestimate just how unfit they were under Bruce. I don't understand. What did he do with them in pre-season? I mean, did he just spend 3 weeks feeding them cake on the bus? Instead of cardio drills, did he just drive them in his Jeep to the KFC drive-thru? Honestly, Callum Wilson is a fantastic footballer, but last August, he looked like Steve Bruce had done nothing but hand feed him popcorn and pizza 6 times a day on the couch. What Eddie Howe's done, it's not a miracle job. He's not walking on water. It's just simply restoring these players' belief and getting them back to basics. I mean, no longer does Jamal Lascelles look like a defender who's just won his contract in a box of cereal. The likes of Fabian Schär once again looks like a Swiss rock star of a centre half that he was under Rafa Benitez. Christ love, Bruce somehow made this ball-playing beast of a defender look about as sturdy as wet cauliflower. Anyway, this Newcastle team, they made changes after a Thursday night trip to Southampton, and still, this was almost a Newcastle B team, and still, they should have won this match. How? How is this not a penalty? Deep into the second half, with the scores at 0-0, and Trevoh Chalobah yanks Jacob Murphy's shirt with the aggression of Harvey Weinstein in a nightclub. He also trips him up, but what? I mean, is the referee just feeling sorry for him because he almost had his knob decapitated in a cup final? I don't care if he does have to piss blood into a bag. No special treatment, please. It's a goddamn penalty. Kai Havertz scores a delicious goal in the last minute, expertly controlling a Jorginho pass on his toe before poking past Martin Dubravka. Great goal! He shouldn't have been on the pitch. In the first half, this guy elbowed Dan Burn in the face. Dan Burn is a 6'4" Frankenstein gargoyle. This man has the physique of a basketballer. Honestly, look at him. He looks like he should be wrestling with James Bond on a train, not competing in a Premier League match. And he's jumping in the air. So how high does your arm have to be to catch him in the side of his head? You have elbowed Burn in the skull. How is he allowed to stay on the pitch? If your elbow was any higher, you'd honestly be grazing the underside of a cloud. Get Kai off the pitch. Brighton 0, Liverpool 2. We need to cancel Robert Sanchez. Okay, maybe too far, but I'm sorry. This season, I've never seen a goalie attract as many red cards as him. Go back to November, and for some reason, here he was actively stamping on Callum Wilson's heel. And now, he's shoving his knee into Luis Diaz's face. I have no earthly idea how this wasn't a red card. He essentially tried to do what Jorge Masvidal did to Ben Askren. It's just that his jiu-jitsu technique was about as convincing as Conte's hair. He sort of just smacked him in the face with his groin. But still, that was a red card. Honestly, lads, the wrong Sanchez was sent off versus Liverpool this week. Leeds 2, Norwich 1. I'm gonna say it. Sunday afternoon was the greatest afternoon that Leeds United have experienced at Ellen Road since James Milner's debut when they beat Chelsea 3 days after Christmas in 2002. Make no mistake about it, this was mental. Up against Norwich City, they knew they needed to dispose of the Canaries, or they would be going down. Sure, Rodrigo fired them into a first half lead, and then Leeds wasted chance after chance until disaster. Aaron McLean poking the ball into the net in the last minute. I'm guessing those fans at Ellen Road, oh, that must have felt like having their tongue stabbed with a bread knife halfway through dinner. Just a gutter blow. This was a must-win match. And here in the last minute, 1-1. 1-1. No. And then Norwich showed the composure of a nervous frog, allowing Rafinha to skip past the goalie, setting up young Joe Gelhardt to tap into an empty net, blowing the roof off the ground. And yet still, there were still full time for Ilamelier being forced to save a point-blank shot from Timo Pukki with his head. I mean, can you imagine if that had gone in? If there had been 3 injury time goals? How awkward would that be? Gelhardt saves the day, and Leeds fans are dancing in their seats. Jesse Marsh looks like he's on the verge of wetting his pants, only for Pukki to then make it 2-2. What, after an outpouring of emotion and relief? That's like someone winning the X Factor. Only for Dermot O'Leary to immediately announce 90 seconds later that they've already been dropped from Psycho due to having the likability of Piers Morgan in the bath. Just quite a big change in atmosphere. But no, brilliant Leeds win. Everton 0, Wolves 1. There are many people who regret accepting a job offer. I mean, I'm sure right now there's some spotty teenage kids into their 3rd week wiping toilets at Burger King, and honestly, if they could, they would rather let a wild panda bite off their kidneys than actually agree to take this job. And right now, Frank Lampard, listen, you had the new manager bounce, sort of, beating Brentford and Leeds at home, and scoring 7 goals in the process. This job looked easy, right? But that's since worn off, and you've just lost 4 games in a row without scoring a goddamn goal. That is hideous. Look at the starting lineup. You are armed with a £50 million Brazil superstar up front. Your central midfield partnership have cost a combined £80 million in transfer fees. You had nearly £200 million worth of talent on the bench. And yet this was a meek 1-0 loss, being utterly bullied out of the park by Wolves. To add insult to injury, the guy who scores the winner, Connor Cody, you know, the Red Scouser, who spent 9 years of his life on the books of Liverpool. Of all the footballers on the pitch, good lord, do not let him score the winner. This guy is nearly in his 30s, and yet only ever had 4 Premier League goals to his name. But of course, Everton have to part like the Red Sea to allow this former Anfield product to score the winner. And poor old Donny van de Beek, this is his chance to go away from Old Trafford and prove to everyone that yes, this is a world-class Dutch midfielder. Instead, he's looking like the modern-day Davy Klaassen. Yeah, a brilliant, exciting footballer at Ajax, yes, but chuck him in an Everton strip and he looks about as helpful as a big bag of sour baked beans. Arsenal 2, Leicester 0. Arsenal are brilliant. I'm sorry, but no Arsenal fan can ever moan about Mikel Arteta ever again. The man is doing an incredible job. I mean, for the first time in years, Arsenal are playing attacking, hungry, exciting football and hunting down the Champions League. A brilliant win. Martin Odegaard was utterly fantastic. And isn't it a breath of fresh air for a former child star to finally save their career? Honestly, everyone thought this guy was the next Macaulay Culkin. And you know, after he was drowned in the dusty attic at the Bernabeu. But he's the perfect Ozil replacement. As for Leicester though, it does not look good. Brentford 2, Burnley 0. Finally, it's taken until March, but finally, Ivan Toney has eventually blown up. 5 goals in 2 games. But if I was Gareth Southgate, I would bring him to Qatar for penalties alone. He is the best English penalty taker on the planet. Yeah, he is. He really is. And this was a monster game for Brentford. I mean, if they'd lost this, I would have no doubt that Thomas Frank would have spent this week hyperventilating into a sock at the end of his bed. But no, brilliant win, lads, and Christian Eriksen has an assist. I mean, I think that is a minor miracle in itself. Southampton 1, Watford 2. Southampton right now are once again an utter mess. Ralph Hasenhüttl, I repeat, dude, stop giving this man hype. Last week he's been into the Manchester United job again. Oh yeah, brilliant idea. Really clever. Appoint the guy who's already lost 9-0 at this ground. This was a hideous display. Southampton were all over the place at the back. Cucho Hernandez scores twice. They're just a mess. Congrats, Ralph. You've been tactically outsmarted by someone born in the 40s. Good Christ. West Ham 2, Aston Villa 1. Andrei Yarmolenko is a hero. We can all take inspiration from him. Honestly, the way this man has carried himself, the fact he was even able to score a wonderful goal like that, forget the fact that West Ham won this game. This is all about Andrei Yarmolenko. You, sir, are an absolute legend. Anyway, that's what do you think, right? Let me know in the comments below. If you're new here, of course you're new here, subscribe. This is the place to be, you absolute legends. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe. As always, I'll talk to you in a while.